Hello and welcome. It's going to be something a little bit different this time. This time it's going to be a tutorial that is for the current event that just came out yesterday on the 1st of May, 2014. Yes. And it comes with the revamp of the rescue system that used to be very terrible and is now pretty interesting. And an entirely new system that ties in with the dark sector missions that I know I have not covered yet because I have not gotten to making that video yet, but this is a little bit impromptu. And I'm going to show you the easiest way to complete these missions. Now, the rewards are tiered between easy, medium, hard, which are all located on different planets. The important one, if you have the build for this, you will be able to do it every time without fail, is on Neptune. Nereid. This is in the hard tier of mission. The enemies are still relatively low level, but with a build like mine or close to mine, you should be able to do the exact thing I'm about to do fairly easily. So you're going to want Loki or a similarly stealthy frame, of which there may be one other. I can see a possible Ash build that could be comparable to this. You're going to set up like this, lots of duration, lots of speed, so you can get this done quick. Decoy is just kind of here to fill space. Energy Siphon is nearly a must, but that goes for pretty much any caster frame. A powerful sidearm is recommended, not necessary, and a silent, very high damage weapon. I believe the Augress is still silent. I'm not sure why that is. It's been silent for a while. You don't need to bring a Sentinel, but I bring Shade just because I like to have a Sentinel with me, just because. To get the max rewards, what you have to do in this mission is rescue the hostage, 1. When you get to the room where the hostage is located, there will be 4 wardens on this specific mission. Kill all of them without them seeing you, and you will get 6 of your points. And then extracting the hostage is your last 3. So you're going to get a total of 9 for running this on hard. If you're really ballsy, you can attempt to get a good set of parameters for running Nightmare, and you will be able to get 12 points. But for me, that's just not consistent enough, and you can't get it done as fast when you're quitting out of a mission because there's energy drain, or you have no shields, or this, that, and the other thing. It's just not very consistent, and I wouldn't do that unless you feel like quitting out a lot to make it easy on yourself. So I'm just going to get started. Oh, and preferably in solo if you have a good build for this, because other people will ruin your day because stealth is required. Which is unfortunate that teamwork can't be a little better. Basically, as Loki, you're going to go invisible immediately and just run past everything. If your Loki is a little bit on the lower end of the build, my Loki is pretty much completely energy efficient, so I don't need to kill anyone. But if you need energy, it's recommended that you kill guys on the way there so that you have that energy. And then every time you're about to run out, bottom right, just check your timers. Just run, run, run. And just hide when you need to. This is like the no hassle way to do this. This room right here is going to be directly before the jail every single time without fail. If you're Loki, hide here until your 2 is down, pop it, then open the door, because there will always be wardens in here. Just give them the good old headshot. I will flash my bow build if anyone wants to copy it exactly. It's not super complicated, it's mostly just crit and damage. Kill all wardens, +3. Then open this door up. You might want to wait on this door to open it until you have your invisibility back up, because there's normally 1 guy in here, like there is now. And like a normal rescue from pre-patch, just open up the doors until you find the guy. He's a new Red Veil, which I believe is a new faction. Just let him nab your guns if they're powerful, and get the hell out of here. I found that if you're fast enough on getting to the exit, it really won't matter. He has a 30-second death timer, and if he's using those guns, he can kill quite a few of them, so he normally won't die. But like the key here is just being fast, because you don't want to waste time like escorting him like little by little. You just want to get the hell out of here and get your 9 points. Not being seen on the way out is also very helpful because there is a much lower spawn rate of guys. You will get a certain tier of Spectre. It's a little bit different for the easy, medium, hard, nightmare. Cosmic is what you're going to be getting a lot of if you're doing this perfectly every time. And you get the 9 points there. You need 100, or you need 5 to get the badge for the completion and participation in the event, basically. And for 100, you will get the Sindana that I'm wearing, which is this one right here, not with the arrows. And it is called the Rakta Sindana. Alright, now as for Specters. Specters have 4 different ratings, which all pertain to Conclave rating before you build them, which is the different blueprints for them. Now, whenever you go to look at your Warframe's Conclave rating, like overall, it would be the combination of these 4. But in this Conclave rating down there, it takes your Sentinel into account. So what you're going to want to do to get an accurate representation is to totally unequip your Sentinel. And see here. So my Loki with all his gear and this Dark Dagger that I'm leveling is at 851, which is just barely over the Phase Spectre rating. So for that, I would come in here, and I believe my Spectres are almost done. Yeah, I've got 1 minute 30 seconds. There's the Force, Cosmics, Phase, and I believe there's one very, very low tier that I don't remember the name of because I haven't even attempted to build them. And I'm going to grab my phases. And basically whenever you create these, what will happen is it will take whatever you currently have equipped and copy it. So it takes that exact Conclave rating, or like, let's see here. I should go to all. Sorry, my inventory is a little bit cluttered. Conclave rating required for these cosmics. You need 1800 to build it. That's because your Warframe itself needs to have that 1800 requirement. And then you need to have these resources as well, which are fairly low, considering how powerful this frame would be whenever you actually build it. So it's not terrible, but the really, really nice thing about a Spectre is that they're not just for guarding a dark sector. That is definitely not their only function. So I'm going to switch to something a little bit more general use. Let's see here. Where is it at? There we go. And under gear, you can go ahead and equip your Specters, and they are used just like gear. I believe my Phase Specters are Valkyrs. And the requirements for creating them, since you can now unequip your weapons, Specters are required to have both their primary and their secondary and a melee weapon. So you can't cheese the system and have a very, very, very high Conclave Warframe and then just like no weapons but their melee. I tried that. So that doesn't work. And Specters also don't carry over your Sentinel, which is why you would unequip it to check your actual Conclave rating. But let's go to, say, Mercury just to try this out. Since those are my first Specters, I have only seen the Specters in action and not actually used any of my own. But it'll probably go just how I expect it to. They follow you around like a rescue target, and they kill stuff. That's their thing. So let's toss them out. They come out in a little ball. They're basically Pokemon. Oh no, this is the Volt that I had created. Okay, yeah. So I have Volt there. The way they act is not exactly ideal, but they're very, very new. So that should improve in the future. Let's see what they can do. Go get him, Volt. Oh, he's going to reload immediately. Oh, and they're all dead. Well, what else you got for me, Volt? Alright, well he knows how to use his powers. I think a little bit of that was more of my carry. Basically, if you're a solo player, if you're one of the people that have issues with connecting to other people, if you live in a region that might not have the best internet, stuff like that, this is a really good option for having backup on a mission. You can only have one summon at a time, which is highly unfortunate, but it's basically having another person with you. I believe they will res you. I think I was being told that that was happening for somebody, which is awesome if that is true. I don't think there's really going to be a way for me to die here, since it is so low level. Yeah, I think the worst thing about them right now is the way that they act. They kind of, like, say if I was playing that Volt, I know that that build works basically by like spamming speed as much as you possibly can. So maybe if you could tweak it to like give them a frequency on their powers or something like that, the system would be a lot better. But as for right now, your best option is to basically build a like Rhino, for example, who's just a big old tank who just does tank things. That'd be your best bet for creating a Spectre right now and giving them a really good gun. And then there you have it. You'd have a pretty good Spectre. But I think they're helpful and a good addition, and I'm not really sure how they're going to be incorporated into Dark Sectors, because I know that even if he lives throughout this entire mission, I think I've used him up. And if they take that same system with Dark Sectors, I know whenever I've played those missions, I kill Specters by like the dozens. The moment they show up, they're gone. And I don't think a clan of any size is going to be able to sustain the need for more Specters as they're being attacked. It's just not going to happen. So if they're like, you install them in your Dark Sector and then you never have to like resupply them, or they have like a very, very, very high amount of charges, then it might work out. But like if it's current like this, where this phase I got 5, that's not going to be enough for very long. Like even if like an entire clan, like 1,000 people, I think 1,000 people might be the maximum amount of people that you can have in an alliance. If every one of them built phase Specters, 5 each, that's 5,000. If there are like 300 people running that Dark Sector, those are gone in like an hour and a half. So I think there might be something to be tweaked there. I don't know, because I'm not the tactician of my alliance or anything like that. But I know that that would be a very serious problem. But they're useful. I think they're a cool addition to the game. They're gear that is a little bit more influential of your situation. They're pretty cheap to build. I wouldn't say they're too cheap, because I believe those are the phases. Let's see what we got here. Phase, please. Phase, why do you do this to me? Oh, what's it? And I don't have any more phases. Alright. That's fine. I think they cost about 2,000 of some plentiful resources, and the Cosmics had like a gallium in there. Fairly easy to build, and I think they're pretty useful for what you get. Like in a bad situation, if you throw out a Frost, and if you were able to make it so that they just automatically threw up their Snow Globe or something, it could be really useful as like basically a Pokemon. And I think that's kind of all I wanted to cover. But the new rescue type is good because it varies it up a little bit. Having to do a little bit more thinking on a mission, I think, is a good improvement. At the same time, it's a disadvantage because I think a lot of people just want to rush down missions, and you're not going to be getting those really high level blueprints like the Cosmics unless you're like really going for it and working as a team, which is both good and bad. It just means that you're going to need to have people to go get Cosmics if you're looking to use those. But for me personally, I think a phase is fine. Phase is like the top level reward for an easy type mission. So there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Because as you can see, blows through. Like, it's very accurate. Like, it doesn't miss shots as long as you give it an accurate weapon. And overall, I think they're definitely good changes to the game. And I think that's just about all I wanted to say about the event. I hope they add, like in the previous events, or events, just one has done this, a nightmare version where you have to get a much higher volume of points and you get some special reward that you can only get for nightmare mode or something. I think that would be a really good add-on, because this event, I've completed it in less than a day. And I know I'm pretty far, like I have a lot of like resources and ways to make this pretty easy for me. So I think for a lot of people it might take longer if you're doing like the easy missions and such. It'll obviously take more time. But I think overall the event has been pretty easy. But since the changes weren't super huge and I think they just wanted to get something out there, I think overall it was pretty good. So like the video if you liked it, and subscribe if you think I'm awesome and you want more content like this. And comment below if you want something. Chances are really good that I'll make it. So thanks.